There might be one more reason why you're not profitable. Let's talk about it. So one of the reasons why you may not be profitable is because you are not tracking your trades. And tracking your trades by an Excel spreadsheet, a Google Sheet spreadsheet like I use, TradeZilla, whatever, anyone that you can buy out there or make yourself. I personally made my own, and because I made my own, I'm more invested in it. So basically, I'm addicted to tracking all of my trades, and now I can see everything. And the benefits of seeing like my win loss average, right? My win rate, which isn't that super important, but I can see my net risk to reward. I can see my average risk to reward for all my winners, my losers, the two combined. I can see everything on a calendar. I can see everything. And the number one thing that helped with was it helped my psychology. I was able to stick to one. Sorry, that was my baby. I stuck to one trade, and I was able to stick to the same trade, the same strategy. And I was able to stick to one strategy for over a period of time. And I was able to stick it through the losses without jumping from one strategy, like maybe after like 5, 6, 7 losses or whatnot, you just jump to another strategy. That's what I was doing too. After I stuck to it, I was able to see myself through the losing streaks and get back on a winning streak. And then what the crazy thing was? I saw that because my risk management was so tight, I was able to see through the losses that I still stayed profitable. And my net risk to reward continued to increase. So my account continued to grow even though I was on a losing streak. So with that, let's jump to my spreadsheet. Okay, so let me show you exactly what I mean. First of all, my spreadsheet looks like, okay, this column, this is the pairs. This is the day I traded on, session, buy or sell, whether I won or lost, my entry type, like whether it was aggressive, whether I took a conservative or break of the low, break of the high. Those are just some of the ways I enter. My risk to reward, right? This is the most important number here for me. And then whether it was a scalp, I'm a scalper for the most part, but I do some day trading or some intraday trading and a little bit of swing. And then I have a photo here. Then I have photos here, right? I have photos. So like, there goes a photo of my trade, right? That was a winner, and this was a loser, right? And then the date, right? So then after that, I have my overall trades, and I'm literally 39 for 39, which is crazy, but it is what it is. And I'm 50%, obviously 50% to the T right now, 50%. But my net risk to reward is 33%. 33%. I mean, not 33%, 33R, right? I personally risk more than 1%. I risk 3%. So my account is already doubled. But February, these were my stats for February. I took 30 wins and 21 losses, so I traded a lot. My total risk to reward, net risk to reward, was 13.1, and then for March, the same exact thing, 13.1. I don't know how it happened when I took far less trades, but I won 12 and I lost 7. Still ended up with 13R. Excuse me. 13R for the month. So yeah, 39% for the month. April was terrible. This is where my my psychology really was tested. In fact, I was already thinking about there's something wrong with my strategy. I'm doing it wrong. I need to go look back and refine it. I need to, figure out what's going on. And I did have to do some looking and some digging. But where I was doing my digging was in this, right? This allowed me to do the digging. Okay. I was able to see, first of all, I only won 6 trades for the entire month. 6 trades for the entire month. Do you know how difficult that was on my psychology, on my mental, right? I lost 8 trades, but guess what? Still ended up profitable by a little bit, just by a little bit. Yeah, it was only just about, it was about 7% for the month. But yeah, that's what it was. That's what April was. April was terrible. And then in May, I'm 2 for 2. 2 losses, 2 wins, but already higher than last month, right? Already. It's crazy. I'm already up 12%. For R. It's just the way it is, right? And my calendar tracks the days that I won and the days that I lost, right? I was 66% overall for each day, not per trade, but for each day. So if I took 1 loss, but then 1 win, and my win is always bigger than my losses most of the time, not like 80% of the time, then it would be a win. But if I took 2 trades, or if I took, let's say, 3 trades and I got 1 win and 2 losses, then it would be a loss, right? It would be a losing day. So 66% in February, 63% in March, and then it looks like I'm on a downtrend, but I'm not. I don't even know. Well, this isn't the calculation. I need to fix the calculation on this because right now it's not changing. So anyway, it's not 50%. It's a little higher. But anyway, April, tough month, 42%. It is right. It was what it was. But here's the other nice thing that I have is that my average risk to reward on my winning trades is an overall 1.6. So for February, it did 1.6. March did 1.6. For April, it did 1.7. But why is that? Why was it 1.7? Well, because even though this was my most difficult month, I had my largest trade, which is a 3R, almost a 4R, 3.79, right? And that changed everything for the average, right? That brought me right back into profitability. And this is kind of where my win streak kind of came back, where I had 4 winning days in a row. This was a really low win, but it was a swing trade that I was just trying to get out of, or intraday that I was trying to get out of, which I should have held actually, because it went for like 4R. Anyway, this month, the month of April, is the month where I realized that this has changed my life. This has changed my trading. Why? Because while all these losses were happening, for this month, I was struggling to figure out what's wrong. And while this win rate was just steadily plummeting, I was at like 72%, 70, 68. I was going back and forth between 68 and 70%. And then it just dropped. It just dropped, right? There was some trades that I could have had a 3R that I closed early, like I believe it was this one, or this one. I can't remember. Anyway, that would have changed the month. But regardless, I was trying to figure out what was wrong. And as I was looking at my win rate was just plummeting. going down. And these two things were annoying me, but I knew that I needed to stop paying attention to this. And my net risk to reward was kind of staying, like, it was just barely going down, just barely. Why? Well, it's because of my trading plan and the way I win and lose, the way I take losses. All my losses, where you can see this -1, -1, -1, -1, -1. Now, that's all I lose. I only lose 1 R. Never more. Now, there are days where I overtraded, and then it was like, all right, I lose 2 R and then make 1.3. Well, that's a losing day, because that's -2 R and then 1.3. So I'm still negative for the day, right? So I realized, okay, my over trading is hurting me, even though I felt like I felt like I should have been taking the trade, because the setup kept coming, right? And I don't have the picture, I think, because I got mad and left, and then I don't know. But I realized that my over trading is messing with my risk to reward, and basically it's messing with my risk management, right? Even though I'm over trading because I'm trying to make the money back, which is bad, but I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing that, okay, if I'd only taken this loss and then came back the next day, I would have I would have only taken maybe one trade again. Maybe I would have just had a break even or this win. I would just say maybe I just had this break even, right? And then I wouldn't have to endure some of these losses from over trading, right? Like, look at this. 3 losses back to back to back in the same day. And you could see where I was trying to cut the loss short, but still this added up to more than 2 R, which my trading plan says I'm only supposed to lose 1 R per trade, essentially 1 R per day, but I didn't even lower the risk. I was just trying to cut the risk short, right? I was just trying to cut the trade short. But that's another thing that allowed me to see, like, okay, I'm messing up my risk management by taking more than 1 trade, maybe 2, but really more than 1 trade a day, because for me and the way and my trading method, my strategy, I only need to take 1 trade a day. And really, I don't even need to take 1 trade per day. I could some days I can skip, because either I got a high risk to reward for the week, or I don't have a setup, right? So here you can see again, right on the 29th, I took 3 trades and lost back to back to back. Again, messing with, and you can see when I take I'm trying to cut my risk short by trying to hop out early and whatnot. Yeah, that might be good, but it also may not be. But in fact, one of these, I think, was like the trade actually ended up playing out in my favor. Let's see if the photo pops up. Ended up going in my favor, but I cut the trade short and it started to head down in my favor. That's another thing where this is why having all this information helps, right? That's why having all this information is able to, I'm able to go back, look, and analyze what I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing well, right? So finally, when I got out of this losing streak, I was able to catch a nice win streak. I was able to get into the winning streak because I figured out what I was doing wrong. I got on so much of a win streak that I got cocky, right? Or not so much of a win streak, but it was like I was used to this kind of thing, right? And then maybe a couple losses, and then some break even, win, and then win for a minute, maybe 1 loss, and then win for a minute, and then really my losing streak started really in the end of February. Really, that's where it started, right? And then no, excuse me, it didn't start here. I take that back. But this is what I was used to: 3 wins, 1 loss, couple wins, maybe 2 losses, and then it really started in the middle of March, then the losses just started to pile up, and you see where I'm having more losses than wins, right? But the number one thing that I learned, was that even though I can go on a losing streak, and my win rate can be 50-50, which I never wanted to be a 50-50 win rate trader. But, that's why I scalp, because I was trying to be more than that. I am still profitable, and profitable by kind of a lot, right? That was the main thing. All the wins and losses don't matter. They matter, but the win rate, it kind of doesn't matter. It just lets me know that, okay, at the moment, right now, I'm a 50-50 trader. I'm a 50% accuracy trader right now, but I'm actually very profitable because, number one, my account is up, and two, my data is there to tell me. My data is there letting me know. And there's a reason why I don't have money up here. It's because the money part, I don't need to see the money on my chart. My money is in my on my trading account. I can look at it. I can look at my trade locker and say, okay, I'm profitable. But if I didn't have this, then I wouldn't know where I'm at. I wouldn't know where I was at. Okay, I wouldn't even know where to begin. And once I got on this losing streak, I would have just gave up and started looking for how to, adjust my strategy, right? So this is the main reason why I was able to stick through, right? I was able to stick through my losing streak. It was because I was able to focus on it and say, let me stick this through and see where I end up, right? That wasn't even a losing streak. Let me see where I end up, right? I even took a week off of trading here because I was traveling, but let me stick it out. Let me figure it out. And now my psychology is so much stronger because I already know what to expect. And here's the big thing. Since I know that, as for right now, I could end up at any point in the year, I could be at a 50% win rate. Hold on one second. Okay, back to what I was saying. Sorry, I had to go take care of something. But basically, since I know that I can be at any point in the year 50% at a 50% win rate, then I now know that I can be profitable. I can be profitable at that win rate, and I know how to manage my risk and make sure that I don't over risk at any point, because I'm already aware. I already know that at any point I can be about as low as 50% and still be profitable. That is the power of a spreadsheet. If you want to check out my spreadsheet, or if you want access to my spreadsheet, just go ahead and DM me or email me. My email and my Instagram is in my profile. But again, I appreciate you guys checking out this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.